Hello, I'm Larissa Shatalova. The aim of this presentation is to introduce a new approach that has proven to be successful in the optimization of teaching and learning a subject, in developing logical and critical thinking of beginners. Learning math in one cycle, Lucid Method. Logical path of this presentation. Let's start by acknowledging that not all learners are successful in the traditional verbal method of teaching. Then we will look into the cone of learning by Edgar Dale as a basis for further development. Lucid Method marries Dale's ideas and digital technology. This results in widening the range of learning opportunities. In part 2, we will show step by step how Lucid Method works. And the summary will follow. Educators know that words don't always work, and Mind Research Institute showed that relatively small percent of all learners are successful in traditional verbal method of teaching. All others have difficulties, results in frustration, losing confidence, taking the same class several times. Are they not good enough to learn? The answer is no. I can say this for sure because I am one of them. I struggled in learning until I developed my learning style based not on primarily words components. It changed outcome. I got master's degree in engineering and PhD in math and physics. This is why I focus on technology in order to expand opportunities for learners by implementing different means to access the materials and different type of activities to work on it. In his cone of learning, Edgar Dale showed that the most effective learning process requires participant to be an active learner. After 2 weeks, we tend to remember 70% of what we say and 90% what we say and do. So we have to focus on this type of activities. Our goal is to convert the student from a passive into an active learner using technology. Lucid Method marries Dale's idea and digital technology. Lucid Method provides self-paced, independent learning. Each section is a sequence of small self-sufficient units. Material presented in illustrative form. You can see example on this address. Complete learning of unit is combined in one cycle. You can see that the cone of the Lucid Method has several layers. Cone shows the process of learning as a sequence of different types of activities. First layer is hearing and watching. Second, hearing, watching, and manually navigating PowerPoints. Later, we will provide more details on this type of actions. Third, watching, manually navigating PowerPoints, and verbally reproducing the audio commentary, karaoke style. And fourth, taking notes, solving problems, and more. If learner follows these sequences, he is an active learner the most of time. Let me repeat. Our goal is to convert the student from a passive into an active learner using technology. Now I can provide more details about the layers of this cone. The first layer is a logical path through the unit. It's a visual introduction to the given unit. And here is an example of logical path of the unit classifying real numbers. In order to use Lucid Method, each section has to be divided into self-sufficient units, similar to objectives in the textbook. Logically complete thoughts, time limit up to 5 minutes, and space available on one slide determine the unit. Here is an example of unit for section function. Second layer. The learner advances the presentation of the material. Going through the presentation, he has to fully focus up to 5 minutes in order to integrate the visual and verbal parts by clicking back and forth to synchronize them, with the ability to pause the presentation if more time is needed for processing. The verbal audio part of their presentation does not specify when the students should click to advance the presentation. Rather, it's the student's responsibility to figure that out from the context. Computer game type of action. Third layer. We have to reinforce Dale's idea about to remember 70% of what we say. PowerPoint format with animations allows to fulfill this request. This step is very important because learning mathematics is a highly sequential process. If you don't grasp a certain concept, facts, or procedure, you can never hope to grasp other that comes later which depend upon it. The learner goes over entire slide while reproducing the verbal audio parts in his mind or whispering to himself, karaoke style, to be sure that he understands all logical steps in presentation and connection between them in a sequence. The first layer. We have to reinforce Dale's idea about to remember 90% of what we say and do. Now the learner is ready to take notes. His brain is still active because he has to identify what is the most important in the presentation. Finally, learner is solving problems, working on projects, and more. It's a perfect time for critical thinking, because critical thinking, in short, is self-directed, self-disciplined, self-monitored, and self-corrective thinking. It requires a high level of sustainable skills, basic mental operations, the ability to identify and correct mistakes, and logically justify self-evaluation. Lucid Method through technology. Method of teaching and learning which is rational and easy to understand. It converts the students from a passive into an active learner. Method provides logical and critical thinking, not memorization. Method is useful for a wide range of learners. In part 2 of this presentation, we will show step by step how Lucid Method works. We will discuss potential benefits of it for students, teachers, and schools. And we will provide information where you can get ready-to-use PowerPoint materials, and summary will follow.